Yeah, you did.
What did you take from African college? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, what did you take?
Okay, so for me, like I still use cornel notes to this day. Barry already does that. So like, I guess part of actually there's a lot that I took. One when we did the oh yeah, woo, love that. Anyway, so when we did the resumes, you're gonna do resumes like junior and senior year. The resumes was like the biggest thing for me because that resume like it taught me how to like tell colleges all the different things that I was involved in that I actually do. And then so the resume part, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I cannot write to save my life. So when it came time to write the college essay, the essay that I wrote with my in Avid was the essay I used pretty much on every single college application, but I just tweaked it a little bit. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna answer this question by saying this, and this, but like literally, I used the framework of the essay that we worked on in Avid for my applications. And then I think the last thing was that organization, because when I got to school, like a lot of kids weren't as organized as I thought they were gonna be. Like they were really smart kids, but they were like just all over the place. Me, like I had this like nice, neat binder, you know, like I knew where everything was. So even if I wasn't like a genius, I could catch up and I could, you know, take better notes than the guys who were like, oh, I don't use write notes, I'm smart. I'm like, no, you're not, you're an idiot. Write some notes. So that's probably like the biggest part I took away. So like my note taking skills, they're phenomenal. Like I can write down some good notes. And it's also about understanding what you need to write down and what you don't need to write down. Because not everything your professor says is like worth like useful information. You want to make sure it matches up with like what you're reading and like what the syllabus is also saying too.
I look at what I took from Avid. I humbled myself a lot when I was in my upperclassmen years for like Avid for junior and senior year. I just listened a lot really, because at the end of the day, I was sitting in the same seats and I was looking and I was like, this is an insight to college and this is like my next step, and I'm always worried about like that next transition. So like now I'm worried about law school. That's my next transition. So like I'm working on it now. But like as a student in Avid, I really listened to what the teacher and what the people they would bring in had to say. Because at the end of the day, you could see stuff for what it is on paper, but like real life experience and what I need to do to get to where I want to go, that's the most important to me. And like I utilized that as much as I could. Like when we did the FAFSA night, or when we did certain like things where I got to talk to people that apply to colleges and how their college life was, or when we did tours, like I really think the hands-on stuff and like the material that people could actually tell me was the most important for me, because that's what kind of like painted my picture. So I would say that was most important for me during Avid, like learning what I had to do to get to where I wanted to go. And I feel like y'all should be thinking about that like right now, just because it's important, because y'all got to worry about what's next. Like that should always be the question, like what's next? What do I do now? So yeah.
I kind of took like all the foundations from Avid, like the tutorials. Like tutorials seem kind of basic, like you do them all the time, but it's actually how tutorials go. You don't write everything down, but like you know when you go to tutorial group or a study session or whatever group, like you know what you need to bring. You know what your questions is. Like you have everything ready for it. You don't go to tutorial group or a study session with just help me. Like you can't
Right.
you can't just do that. You need to know what you need, like what you don't know, and what you can help with, like what resources you have. You need to have all that. You know what kind of exactly what you need help with, because people aren't just gonna hand out help.
I was going to say, yeah, that is true to a certain extent. You can't just walk up to people and be like, I don't know it, help me. Like, I mean, you could, but you're probably not going to get the best results. Honestly, I know when you go to the writing center, because I worked in there for a little bit, you have to have your paper with you, and you have to tell me what you want me to look at, because there's certain things that you might want, like grammar, or you might want to focus on topics. I have to know how to help you. You can't just be like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Fix it. Because, like, it's just not going to give you the best results. So I would say keep that in mind, too.
Yeah.
Is there any aspect of college that surprised you when you like first went through?
Any aspect of college that surprised me? I got to think about that one. Because I was in shock for a little bit.
I think for me it was like I know you said it before and probably harped on it a lot. It's just like how on your own you actually are, like in the aspect of like your parents or teachers are not gonna force you to work. So like, it's literally like how determined and how driven. Like, the fruits of your labor are what you do. Like, for me to be successful, I have to sit myself down, find a place to actually just do my own work. Because no one's gonna like come and check up on me like, oh, why aren't you doing this? You know, there's no like external forces in making you be better than what you already are. So for him to succeed, he had to sacrifice certain things. For Kevin to succeed, he had to change his ways from high school to college. Like, we all have this moment where like, oh wow, this is actually on us now. You know, I think that's probably the biggest thing that like surprised me for college. Because everyone's like, oh, they're not gonna hold your hand, and then you're like, wow, they're really not gonna they're not gonna force me to do anything.
Okay, so when I think about what surprised me about college, honestly, I would say getting to know your college specifically. Like, the way things work at UMass, I know is not the way things work at Frostburg, and it's definitely not the way things work at West Point. So, like, getting in where you, I guess, can succeed and putting yourself in a position, it's a real thing. Like, sometimes people get stuff off of who they know, not what they know. And, like, I've seen it happen so many times. And it's like, at my school, I realized, look, maybe it kind of does. Maybe I should, heighten my status. Maybe I should get myself into stuff. Only reason I got into SGA was because I wanted people to know me. Now that people know me, things are easier. I can talk to people that I need to speak to. I can set up events, things that I wanted to do beforehand. But like, being a regular student, I couldn't have done that. So like, politics in college, like learning your way around things, learning that, oh, on the first day, when freshmen are just trying to learn what's going on, they're offering out jobs. Like, they're giving out, like, you have to go for workshop jobs or work study. And freshmen don't know that, so they never get the jobs because nobody ever tells them that, and it's on the first day. So it's like things like that, things learning about how your college works beforehand and even while you get there, that'll help you succeed there. And it's unique to your experience, so I'll say that.
Probably the thing that surprised me the most was like how quick it all gets started. Because like you get dropped off. I got dropped off the Saturday before Saturday before school started because we had freshman orientation. And we had a Saturday, Sunday. Sunday we had the freshman orientation. Saturday was set up, and then Monday class starts. Everybody, like not just freshmen. It's like everybody starts and it's go time. And if you're not ready at the time, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be ready on the first day, but like be aware of where you are and how ready like you need to be. Like, know that if you don't know how to study yet, you gotta find some study groups and be like, hey, I don't really know how to study. Can you show me how you do it, maybe? Like, maybe your way can help me a little bit. Like, reach out. Like, know where you want to go.
Don't be scared to use your mouth, though. Like, talk to people.
You have to.
Don't be just sitting there like, I don't know if I want to look scary over there. Like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah,
really, it's not going to work.
How do you think your personality helps you in college? Like you said, don't be scared to like go up to people and stuff. How do you think that helps you?
My personality helped me in ways and didn't help me in some other ways. Because I am a very distracted person. Like, if people, like my freshman year and sophomore year, like I was just kind of going with the crowd. Like I was just going with like, everybody's doing that. All right, let's go. It's a party over here. Like, let's do it. Like, I'm with it. Like, whatever the move is, I'm with it. Like, that was just me. I'm with whatever. Like, let's do it. I was just the go man, you know. But one thing that helped me was like how social I am. Like, how I can talk to like anybody. Like, I can just, whoever I'm talking to, I'm bringing you down to where I am. Like, we gonna talk on the same level. I don't care who you are, president, like freshman. Like, we right here. And that's just something that helped me. Like, I can just talk to anybody on my level. Like, we're being people. We're being real. And yeah, that's kind of how it helped and hurt me.
Honestly, I think my personality definitely helped me during college, and it developed in college too. Like, talking to all these different types of people, like, you gotta think, I work in a freshman dorm, right? And freshmen, I'm not saying they're looked at as the lowest, but they're just getting there, so like their status isn't really up there. And then I've talked to the president or the president of the SGA, and I had meetings with them. So it's like, I guess getting to know how to speak to people, and little things do go a long way, like saying, thank you, please, you're welcome. Like, people appreciate that, honestly. Like, you don't always have to be rude to somebody. Sometimes you do gotta stay your ground, though. You have to have a backbone, you know what I'm saying? You have to speak up for yourself. And I think that's really helped me throughout college because, you know, at the same time, I can talk to people, but I'll let people know, like, this is me and I'm not going to change for anybody. Like, this is what I am, and please accept me for who I am. So,
For me, my personality, I can pretty much like kind of get into anything. Like, I guess for me, like sometimes school sucks sometimes. Like that's anywhere you go. So being able to like make friends in like the oddest places, you know what I'm saying? Like walking in a cafe or something like that, and you make a friend at school or something like that. It doesn't have to be like, you know, it doesn't have to be like, you know, like some.
Like we're buddy, like
Yeah,
we're
you know,
best friend, like.
but you know, like being able to like you know network and meet new people, and you know just like see a friendly face and like have a conversation with that person, it goes a long way. Especially for me, I mean, I think for any of us, like,
Yeah.
especially like in his position, you know what I'm saying? So I think being friendly, that's part of my personality. But also like sometimes you gotta be tough.
Yes.
Like you gotta just like you gotta be tough. It's like like my school, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some days I'm like I really hate this place and everybody here, but it just kind of helps develop your character. Like you're gonna be alone sometimes and things are not gonna go your way. So the tougher you are, the better you are to be able to handle those situations.
I didn't really talk about the development part, but I'm gonna go on now. So the go part, the go, that's not me no more. I do myself, I know where I wanna go and I do what's gonna help me. I'm not concerned about others' opinions really. I don't really care what other people have to think about me. This is me. You can take it or leave it, and I'm gonna keep on my trail. That's just
but I think that you be mindful. Like, don't stop trying to grow. Like, once you get to college, don't think, oh, I made it to college, now I'm the man, because you're not. And I tell myself every day, like, even though I feel important, it could all be gone. So, like, be mindful. Like, just because you might not be who you think you are, so just don't stop growing as a person. Really, I'll leave it at that.